Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now let's get right into this What If. After Izuku recruited enough people from his little organization in Gotham City, he finally had enough bodies, and their quirks were quite useful. Izuku came to the conclusion quirks are not everything. He needs to give his men and women proper gear, firearms, explosions, and so on. And they also need funds. First thing he needs to do is get some firearms as he begins planning to steal weaponry from a local gang lord or crime lord that is in Gotham. So he begins planning to hit several penguins warehouses where he stores variation of different type of weaponry. In truth, this was stage one of his plan to get noticed. He picked Penguin so Two-Face would take notice of him. Izuku is fully aware Penguin is his arch nemesis. The two men totally despise each other. He has no doubt Two-Face would want to recruit him into his crime organization. Then stage two can finally begin. To gain Two-Face's trust, then when he let his guard down, then he would kill him and take over his territory. By doing so, he can finally approach Bane. He doesn't want to reveal the League of Villains just yet. Give me a second, guys. I need to make sure that doesn't pop up again. But in order to approach Bane, Batman's a major factor in his plans. Bane is currently located in Blackgate Prison. Before he would kill Two-Face, he would learn everything from him. Then when he was no longer useful, he will remove him from the board permanently. Blackgate is too secured to break Bane out, so instead he'll allow Batman to capture him and send him to Blackgate Prison. Then he'll have Toga disguise herself as one of the guards, then break out with Toga's help and have a boat ready for their escape. While Izuku act as a loyal goon and move up the ranks in Two-Face organization, Dobby will run the League of Villains in the shadows in his stead while he's undercover. The only problem he has now is Toga. She's very adamant of being by his side, so he had to ultimately agree, but he forbid her to use her quirk while undercover. Her ability to transform into other people must be kept secret at all costs. The only way she would agree to this was to take her out on several dates. He had no choice but to agree to her terms. He informed All For One of his plan. By his surprise, All For One had no objections. In fact, he was quite excited to see how this plan will progress. If Izuku was mistaken, he seemed to be proud, like a father would to be to their own child. With their plan all set, Izuku and Toga made their way outside of Gotham, using the same tunnel they used to get there in the first place. With the information they got from hacking Penguin's computers, he located several warehouses scattered around Penguin's territory. Most of these crime lords don't have the necessary protection when it comes to cyber attacks. It was like stealing candy from a baby. It seems like they're stuck in the old ways. Sorry. It seems like they're stuck in the old days. No matter, it makes Izuku's job a whole lot easier. Well, I gotta admit, Toga, this warehouse is quite heavily guarded than I thought it would be. I'll let you play with them. Really, Izuku-kun? Can I have their blood? Of course. Take as much as you want, dear. You're so good to me. As she skipped towards the group of men guarding the front entrance of the warehouse. After sorry, give me a second. After kissing him on the cheek, she charged towards the three men, throwing two knives through two of the men's skull and leaping in the air and jumping onto the man's back and placing the man with her blood machine, draining the blood from his body, then slit his throat when she collected enough blood. Then she jumped off the man's back as the man falls down dead. When Toga tried to open the door to the warehouse, she frowned. She had a frown on her face. It seems like the door is locked. Whatever. As she skipped back to Izuku's side, did I do good? You were perfect. As he ruffled her hair, her blonde hair, with one snap of his fingers, the door was blasted off from the high sound attack. They both stepped through into the warehouse. Izuku noticed several men with assault rifles aiming their guns at them. Kill them. Sorry, boys. My Izuku told me to kill you all. I would hate to disappoint him. So don't die too quickly now. It's not every day I have so much fun in one night. I'm absolutely giddy. As they opened fire at Toga, she gracefully dodged all of their attacks, beginning to kill them one by one until the whole warehouse was filled with bodies. Unfortunately, Toga missed one of them when he was about to shoot Toga. Sorry, he was about to shoot Toga in the back of the head. As Toga hears a loud noise coming towards her, as she backflips out of the way, as the man goes thrown into the wall of the warehouse from Izuku's sound attack, as he repeatedly snapped his fingers at the man, sound attack after sound attack, he brutally murdered the guy. His skin on his face was torn off from the from the pressure of the wind from the sound attacks. His skin on his face was no longer there. Izuku used the sound attack to blast off the man's skin off his face, leaving nothing but a blank skull covered in blood. Oops, I missed one. As she giggles, it touches my heart that you care so much about me. So, what's next? Izuku picked out. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Try this again. Izuku picked his phone out of his pocket and contacted Gary. Gary, it's me, Izuku. I need something transferred back to my home base. A second later, a black portal opens up in the middle of the warehouse as Gary opens several portals and begins to transfer all the crates of weapons and other equipment back to Old Gotham Hotel. Is there anything else you need, young Soundstalker? There's nothing at the moment. Thank you for your assistance. Without saying another word, Kirigiri opened a portal back to Japan. As he stepped through it, Dobby, this is Izuku. Did you get the care package? Yeah, we got it. We're looking through it now. There's a lot of equipment here. We got enough weapons to last us for a while. We got plenty of ammunition, including several crates of C4 and dynamite. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Good. Make sure our people know how to use them. I'll be continuing our plan. Good luck, Izuku. I'll contact you every few weeks to give you a status report. I'll come back to the home base if there's a side. Sorry, give me a second here. If I get noticed by the bats and his family. Got it, Izuku. As Izuku put his phone away back into his pocket of his pants. So, what's our next stop? The next couple warehouses we're going to hit, we're not going to take any of the equipment. We're just going to blow it up. I can't wait to see his face when he knows all his warehouses are in flames. I can't imagine Mr. Penguin being very happy. I expect he's going to be very furious. But before that, let's go grab a bite to eat. I'm starving. Can I pick the place, Izuku? Sure, knock yourself out. Yay! Then Toga wrapped her arms around Izuku's as they head out to the warehouse. Look, Izuku-kun, this place looks fancy. As Toga points out the restaurant after they made their way back deeper into the city, out of Penguin's territory. Indeed, it does, by the looks of it. It looks like some sort of Italian restaurant. Italian? I've never had Italian food. I want to go here, please. Pretty please? Fine, let's go in. Italian does sound good. Two men in black suits stopped the two from going in. Sorry, kids. The restaurants are only allowing invitations. What are they saying, Izuku-kun? Apparently, these gentlemen say we're not allowed in. Apparently, we don't have an invitation. Izuku, with his hands behind his back, pulling out a knife out of his back of his pants. Well, by his belt. I think we should show our invitation. Wouldn't you agree, Toga? As Toga gets a evil grin on her face, as she nods, what Izuku is implying. At the same time, Izuku and Toga threw knives at the two men, piercing through their heart, as their lifeless corpse fall to the ground. Shall we? As he opens the door for Toga. You're such a gentleman. As they step over the dead bodies and enter the restaurant, the moment he walked into the restaurant, one of Falcone's men pulled a gun on Izuku, and placed it on the side of his head. He completely ignored the guy with the gun against his head. Izuku noticed the same dressing men scattered all around the restaurant, but the one that caught his eye was the old man sitting in the seat that took his notice. I don't know who you are, kid. You got a lot of nerve coming into my restaurant and killing my men. Before Falcone could say another word, with a simple snap of his finger, the man that was holding the gun against his head goes flying across the room, hitting the wall hard and being knocked out from the impact. I'll handle this, Toga. If they make any moves, kill them all. Okie dokie. Judging by your dialect, you're Japanese, are you? Indeed I am. Judging from your attire, I'm guessing you're Falcone. Indeed I am, boy. Why are you here? Isn't it obvious? Food, of course. You Americans are so slow on the intake. I could easily kill all of you, if I wanted to. Waiter, I want a menu now. Izuku calmly sat down at Falcone's table on the opposite side of him. You got some. You got a. Sorry. You got a spine, kid. I'll give you that. Waiter, get him a menu. And a menu for his lovely lady over there. So, what are you doing in my part of the city? Nothing much. I'm just passing through. Toga was keen on coming into this restaurant. She's never had Italian food, so I figured why not? Unfortunately, your men were very rude, so I had to adjust their attitude. Normally, Togo would kill all of you. She's she's still very cross about your men pulling a gun on me. All your men will stay alive as long as I desire it. I take it you're not a metahuman. If you're from if you're from Japan, you have a quirk. Am I correct? You are correct. I do have a quirk. May I ask why you came to visit the lovely city of Gotham City? You know, make some friends, kill some people, make a whole lot of money. You know your average tourist activities. You don't need to worry. I have no interest in attacking any of your operations in your part of the town. As long as you don't mind me causing trouble for Penguin, then we'll have no issues. Penguin, you say? Now I'm intrigued. What sort of vendetta you got with the bird brain? I don't have any personal grudge against the bird, as you said. I simply want to get someone's attention. So happen the person I'm trying to get attention of hates the penguin. At least that's what I've been. At least that's what I've been hearing. I have big plans for this city. I see a lot of opportunity here. You're a very ambitious young man. I like that. Not a lot of young people nowadays have that motivation anymore. What's your name, young man? Izuku, but I normally go by Soundstalker. Well, Izuku, it's a pleasure to meet you. As he reached out his hand for Izuku to shake it, Izuku shaked his hand without any hesitation. By the way, your English is perfect. Thank you, Mr. Falcone. I recommend the pasta, Izuku. It's very good. It's one of my favorite dishes that they serve here. After Izuku talked with Toga in Japanese, they finally made up their mind what they wanted to eat. Izuku got the pasta, so did Toga. The only reason Toga got the pasta because she wanted to eat the same thing that Izuku was having. Toga tapped Izuku's shoulder. She opened her mouth when the food finally arrived. Seriously, Toga? Ah, you're such a pain in my ass. But I'm your pain in... Sorry, but I'm your pain in the ass. As Falcone watches Izuku feed his lady friend, Pasta, Falcone noticed how happy the girl is from that interaction. After a while, Toga started to eat by herself. When they finally finished their meal, Izuku was about to leave, money on the table, but Falcone stopped him. It's on the house, Izuku. Before Izuku could say anything else, basically, the power goes out of the restaurant. Toga hopped on Izuku's lap by reflex. Stay calm, Toga. Don't do anything yet. No problem. At several of the Falcone men start to be taken out one by one in the cover of night or the darkness by a unknown intruder. When the last guard was taken out, the lights turned back on. Izuku sees Batman and Nightwing for the first time. Sorry, give me a second here, guys. Izuku sees Batman for the first time and Nightwing. Batman has Falcone by the ruff of his shirt and have him pinned against the wall. What can I do you? What can I do for you, Batman? I haven't committed any crimes, of my knowledge. But what do I owe the pleasure of your visit? After all, I'm legit now. We both know that's a lie. There was a temp on Gordon's life tonight. I know your goons were in the area. As Falcone gives Batman a smirk, of course they're in the area. My men like the coffee at that shop. I have nothing to do with the hit on the commissioner. I'm quite insulted that you thought I had anything to do with it. I don't deal with such nasty business anymore. After all, I'm legit. If I wanted Gordon dead, we wouldn't be having this conversation now. Release me. You're embarrassing me in front of my guests. Batman turns to the civilians, seeing a young girl on a young boy's lap, not even paying attention to them. Fine, you're in the clear for now. If I find if I find you're involved in any way, I'm taking you down, Falcone. Yeah, I know the routine, Bats. Nightwing apologized for ruining their evening. The lights turn and and Batman and Nightwing are nowhere to be seen. So that's the Batman. Quite impressive indeed. I do apologize for that, Izuku. The Bat has no manners. It's becoming worse nowadays. It's quite alright, Mr. Falcone. Thank you for the lovely evening. Alright, Tuga, it's time to get back to work. Tuga hopped off of Izuku's lap. It's a pleasure meeting you too. If you ever in my neck of the city or neck of the woods, give me a ring. As he hands over a business card to Izuku, as Izuku put it in his jacket pocket, or yeah, his pocket basically. As we cut back to the rooftop, as Batman and Nightwing are watching Izuku and Togo walk out of the restaurant. Nightwing, I have a few leads I need to check out. I want you to follow the two kids. The boy was way too calm, and I have a very unsettling feeling about the girl. Come on, Bruce. They're just kids. Do it. Fine, fine. I'll babysit the kids. When Nightwing turned back around to see to turn to Bruce, he was already gone. I hate that when he does that. Let's see what these two kids are up to. Bruce is right. The boy with different color hair seemed to be a little too calm. Hopefully this turns out to be nothing, just his paranoia. But just in case, if the off chance, hopefully I can talk them down peacefully. Come on, Toga. Let's take a ride on a taxi, or take the taxi, or let's take a ride on a taxi, or in a taxi, basically, back into Penguin's territory. While Izuku and Toga take a taxi back into Penguin's territory, Nightwing is following them from rooftop to rooftop. It seems like we got a third wheel, Izuku-kun, as she whispers that in his ear. Izuku finally noticed Nightwing jumping from rooftop to rooftop. Good catch. I want a kiss as a reward. Seriously? Yes. Fine, but not now. Toga simply pouts with a disappointed expression on her face. Don't worry, you'll get your kiss as soon as we finish what we need to do tonight. She immediately starts to perk up. Promise? Yes, I promise. Pinky swear. You can't be serious. What are you, 8? I'm deadly serious, Izuku. Pinky promise. Fine, I pinky promise. As he wrapped his pinky around Toga's pinky, completing the promise. If you break this promise, I won't forgive you, Izuku. I won't break the promise. Damn, you're being pushy. What are we going to do about our... Sorry. What are we going to do about the little birdie following us? I'm going to make a phone call. I think it's our best interest to set a little trap for our new friend. After finishing his conversation with Dobby, he led Nightwing to an abandoned building. They both got out of the taxi. The taxi drove off. Nightwing entered the building. He sees the two of them as he sees the girl waving at him. The blonde girl waving at him. Hello, little birdie. You got here a little sooner than expected. Before Nightwing could say anything else, or say anything, he got launched to the right of the room as a lesser Nomu come walking out of the shadow. This is farewell, little birdie. Nomu, kill him. I would love to stay and watch you get brutally murdered, little birdie, but you know how it is. It's getting kind of late. And you and the Batman has ruined my plans for tonight, but no matter. I could always continue it on a later date. Goodbye, little birdie. I highly doubt we'll meet again. Toga sticks her tongue out at Nightwing and waves him goodbye. As the portal opens up, they both step through it as they go back to the base in Old Gotham. Izuku grabbed onto Toga's hand and led Toga back to his room, where she stays in every night. He just gave up on that. She was going to do it regardless. When they enter the room, Izuku lifts up Toga's chin, so they're at the same eye level, as he kissed her on the lips. After Izuku broke off the kiss, Toga's face turned bright red. This is the first time Izuku initiated a kiss. Normally, Toga is the one making the move first. She tackled him on the bed, as she has a big smile on her face, as she cuddles with him, as she wraps her arms around his neck. What are you doing, Toga? Thank you for today. Thank you for today, even though our fun got cut short. I do appreciate you spending so much time with me, even though you don't like me the way I like you. You'll eventually fall for me, though. And why would you think that? Because I would do anything for you. The more time we spend with each other, the deeper my affection grows for you. You'll love me eventually. It's only a matter of time. I've said this many times. We're meant for each other. You're just too stubborn to realize it. But don't worry. I'm a patient girl. Maybe I don't hate your company so much. Well, at least that's a start. You know, you're the first guy that I'd like that I haven't tried to stab and drain from. Normally, I would find blood attractive on a boy. I especially like I sorry. I especially like the blood on the person I care for or like. But the thought of someone hurting you, making you bleed, pisses me off. And I know that I'm not the stablest girl around, but I do care about you. You're quite talkative tonight, Toga. I just want you to know how I feel. We don't live the most safest lives. We could die any time being villains. It's not always the safest lifestyle. I suppose you do have a point, Toga, despite how annoying you could be sometimes. I do find you pretty. You find me pretty? As Toga begins to blush heavily. Good night, Toga. as he leans over to kiss Toga on the forehead. Good night. As Toga remained quiet the rest of the night, blushing like crazy. As we cut back to Nightwing being tossed out of the building, landing straight into a car door as glass breaks from the impact. Alright, that hurt. I hate it when Bruce is right, and he's right a lot. Give me a break no matter what I throw at this guy. He just shrugs it off like it's nothing. I'm not even sure if this thing is human. Batman comes swinging in, kicking the Nomu. Alfred has told me of the situation. What is this thing? I don't know, Bruce. I followed the kid here and this thing was waiting for me. Whatever this thing is, those two are involved in some way. They're pretty much set a trap for me, so they must have figured out I was trailing them. Those kids are not normal. Before Batman could do anything further, Kirigiri appeared in the middle of the street through a portal. My apologies, gentlemen. I'm going to have to interrupt your little battle. Who the hell are you? As Batman, getting a stance ready to attack. Who I am doesn't matter. As Kirigiri opens a portal, as the Nomu gets sucked in, as Kirigiri disappeared in a portal before Batman could throw his batarang at him, and he got away. Some sort of portable ability. Of course, tonight won't be easy. Not gonna lie, Bruce. I'm kind of glad they got away. I think I cracked a couple ribs. Damn, it hurts. You, sorry? You can call tonight, Dick. What are you gonna do now, Bruce? I need to figure out who these two are. Clearly, these new players. Oh, sorry. Apparently, Sorry. Try this again. I need to figure out who these two are. Clearly, they might be new players in Gotham City. If things get out of hand, I might have to involve the Justice League. I can't believe I'm hearing that. Especially from you. You never ask for help. Ever. Let's just say I have a bad feeling about this. Next morning, Izuku got up with Toga and went to discuss a few things with Dobby. We might have a wrench in our plans, Dobby. Sorry, give me a second here, guys. I take it this has something to do with the bats that you met last night? We came across the bats at a restaurant. Unfortunately, we got on his radar. I need to hit these two warehouses fast and quick tonight. Would you mind taking care of one of them? Hell yeah, I haven't had any action in a while. I'll gladly burn that warehouse to the ground. If you're up for it, I could add a couple more targets if you like. Dobby has a grin on his face. Please do tell. As Izuku set a map on the table, as there are several X marked on the map from a marker for potential targets. These are the warehouses that store in most likely weaponry. I've already took out one of them. I have no clue what the other ones are for, basically. Probably most likely laundering and some unsavory operations. Unfortunately, Penguin was smart enough not to have everything on his hard drive, so we don't have a full list of his operations. Each place you hit, you need to make a calling card that guarantees that they know I'm the one responsible. I'll leave the calling card up to you. I do have a few ideas. How about how about we just write your villain name in every building we hit? That's kind of direct, but it can work. After all, you need to get a reputation, and this is the fastest way to go about it. The news of Penguin's operation being hit will spread across Gotham like wildfire. I. Very well, Dobby. I guess we're in accordance. I have a special task for you. As he turns to Toga's direction, I know you like to stay by my side, but I need someone I trust to do this for me. Anything for you, Izuku-kun. I want you to hit these two targets. Like Dobby suggested, leave a calling card so they would expect me. Can I write it in blood? I see no problem with that. If you do a good job, I'll take you on a date afterwards. Aye, sir. As she gets in a salute stance like a soldier, Izuku smiled at Toga, satisfied giving her the proper motivation to get the job done. Kill anyone that tries to get in your way. But the Bat family's off limits. The last thing we need is their main focus on us. Understood. What will you do? What will you be doing while we're taking care of that, Izuku-kun? I think it's about time I meet this Mr. Penguin personally. He likes to stage his operation at Iceberg Lounge. I'll be paying him a little visit. I know that look, Toga. Don't worry, I'll contact you if I get in any trouble. You promise? I promise. Good. As Toga has a As Toga smiles at Izuku, satisfied with his answer. Before I forget, make sure to send recon teams in groups of 4. You know, sorry, you know by now you're pretty much the man in charge. I don't mind actually. I prefer not being in charge, personally. Plus, our people, they don't respect me as much as they respect you. They pretty much see you as the leader. The men most the men see me as the second command. I'm fine with it though. I get it what you're saying. I get it what you're applying, Dobby. But for now, we should keep me we should keep me being in charge of the League of Villains in Gotham a secret for now. If we ever if we were ever discovered, they would assume that you are the leader. It's only a matter of time before the Batman figures that out. That there's a new group in Gotham City. That's what I like about you, Izuku. You're always making backup plans. While we're dealing with the bats in his little bat family, judging from his reputation, he usually tracks down his villains and takes them out pretty easily. Of course, there are a couple exceptions, but nevertheless, he's good. He's very good. He might not have any abilities. I consider Batman a major threat. He's more of a threat than All Might is. All might have strength, but he's an idiot, according to what Master had told me about him. After All Might's a small fish in a vast ocean. I've been looking into these heroes in America. The one hero I don't want to cross without a backup plan is the Man of Steel. He's pretty much a god in human form. There's not a whole lot of things that can hurt the guy. And the things that can hurt him is not easily acquired. I'll let you lead things while I'm sorry, give me a second here. I'll let you run things. I'm a I'm gonna go for a walk to clear my head. And you stay here, Toga. No fair. As she pouts at Izuku. If I get in trouble, I'll give you a ring, Toga. If I'm not back by nightfall, you can come and find me. Okie dokie, Izuku-kun. Took a run out of the room and didn't come back for minutes later. A few minutes later, as she's holding some sort of black hoodie. What's this? So no one will notice you, silly. I suppose wearing some sort of disguise would be a good idea. Thanks, Toga. I'll be back later. As he puts the black hoodie on, as he puts the hood over his head to conceal his face, as he steps out of the hotel room, or the hotel. As we cut somewhere in Gotham City, as Killer Croc is trying to get some supplies from the surface, what money he has, for the small homeless community down in the sewer that he protects. He's covered in some sort of cloak to hide his appearance. Only a few shops will sell him things. From past experience with Killer Croc, he saves several of the store owners from being robbed or killed in the past. So they would sell stuff when he came by. Unfortunately, during one of his trips up to the surface, two young women mistook the situation. Wonder Woman and Black Canary were just hanging out in Gotham City. They became good friends over the years, being in the league. So they would occasionally hang out in Gotham City when Diana was in the city, until they noticed Killer Croc coming out of the store in some sort of cloak. They assumed he was robbing the place. As they openly attack him, Izuku heard the commotion in the distance, so he let his curiosity get the best of him. As he sees a crocodile man fighting two heroes, he doesn't know who the blonde is, but he could tell the black haired woman is Wonder Woman, Diana Troy. Despite how aggressive the two heroes were towards Killer Croc, he never once stroked back at them. He noticed he was protecting the bags he was carrying like they were precious to him. Izuku began to walk away. Then he, then he, oh, sorry. Then he stopped out of nowhere as he turned around towards Killer Croc and the two heroes. He decided he was going to help. Clearly, this guy wasn't doing anything bad. He didn't like how these two were not even giving him a chance to speak. As Killer Croc was trying to explain to both of them that he wasn't doing anything wrong and to leave him alone, but they weren't listening. From past experience from Killer Croc, they are pretty much attack attack and ask questions later. Izuku analyzed his surroundings as he saw a manhole metal lid. Oh, sorry, and a few inches from him. With one simple snap of his fingers, the manhole cover flies up in the middle of the air. As he uses another finger snap, making the manhole cover lid shoot towards Wonder Woman and Black Canary. Black Canary warned Wonder Woman, but unfortunately, it was too late for Wonder Woman. She was too late to dodge, as the flying manhole cover hit her as she goes flying through a glass window, going through a shop. When Canary turned around to see the one who attacked her friend, as a wave of sound hit her extremely hard, as she goes flying into the same window that one woman went flying through. The hooded young man ran over to Killer Croc. Hey, you alright? Come on, let's get out here. There's a manhole cover where we can escape. Why are you helping me? No one has ever helped me before. They normally want something. I don't want anything from you at the moment. I saw you in I saw you in the bind, so I decided to help you out. So let's go. It won't be long before those two heroes recover. When Wonder Woman and Black Canary got out of the store to head back where Killer Croc was and saw him go through the manhole, as they see the hooded figure stare down at them as he has a smirk on his face as he jumps right after Killer Croc. You know they're going to come after us, right? I don't. I'm not surprised they would. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, they'll definitely will. I know a place where you could lay low. Come on, follow me. Izuku took off his hood. By the way, the name's Soundstalker. Name's Killer Croc Kid. I know you're no civilian. Are you some sort of villain? You could say that. I'm a villain from Japan. I've only been in Gotham City for a little bit. So where are we heading? As Killer Croc is nowhere near letting his guard down. He's been betrayed and misused several times before by other villains in Gotham. Izuku's inner thoughts. I can't bring him back to the hotel. I don't know if he's a threat or not, or what allegiance he has with the criminal underworld. Too many unknowns. But Old Gotham's pretty big, so there's plenty of spots where he could lay low for now, until I can decide what I'm going to do. Old Gotham, I've been bunkering down there for a while. I can't bring you back to my base of operation like you. Sorry, like you. Trust is a luxury I can't afford at the moment. I know you don't trust me, and I don't trust you, but that doesn't mean we can't be civil with each other. As that's where we're going to cut it off. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.